Hey, what's up everyone? We are back here doing some more raids, and we are going to go and show off the mummy again, because that's what I've been using lately, and it's definitely been fairly effective. Our defenses is holding up really nice, so another slight follow-up here on the defense. We are around 3,500 trophies right now. So you can see there, we are doing fairly well defense-wise. We're just going to go and attack some random players. Someone that's roughly more around our own, attack strength, so we can showcase the mummy. Because that's what I've been doing wrong, is trying to attack tougher opponents like 500 trophies ahead of us. It doesn't give out great videos for showcasing the mummy and its powers. We will also be unlocking the mummy level 3 shortly. We are currently using mummy level 2. And also the heal spell will be going up to max in a matter of days. And that will make a dramatic difference, actually. Because any of these new monsters that have a lot of life, they actually get a great bonus from the heal spell, because the heal spell heals, 3,000 HP. All the old units, they didn't have that much HP, so the heal spell was kind of like wasted, all the extra healing that it did. You'll notice he had a lot of gargoyles in that wave right there, which is very smart, but you can actually kill the gargoyles before they do any damage to you. So if you have a Sonic Blast ready, or even a Blade Storm, or any other spells, and you can cast them right as the gargoyles are, coming up to attack you, you can kill the gargoyles before they do damage to you. So you'll notice that he had a couple gargoyles just rushing in at me, and we had our Sonic Blast going off. So the gargoyles came into the Sonic Blast radius, they ended up dying right away. It becomes a lot tougher to actually kill a gargoyle once they are max level. Once you get a level 4 gargoyle, I believe is max level, they have a lot more life. So you also do want to kind of keep them away from your units, or conversely, you want to keep your hero away from the gargoyles and let your units take the damage. What you can do to counter the gargoyles is throw knights into your combination, because knights are a really cheap unit, and you can just use the knights as a big diversion, because they're all going to swarm onto like one target. So if he has a bunch of like 5 or 6 in one wave, all those guys are going to go swarm and kamikaze themselves on that 1 or 2 knights that are up in front, and they're all going to be wasted there. They're not going to like bomb one at a time because they're too bunched up close together. So knights might be making a comeback in the higher level gameplay for that factor. And you can see here we have a swarm of mummies. And now anything that spawns out of the castle gate is pretty much going to get instant stun. And so we'll showcase this off right here. We're just waiting. Well, it didn't happen, but typically they will get instantly stunned from the mummies and all their AoE lightning effects. So we have confirmed that you do have to have a monster or units for the mummy to use the AoE lightning. He will not use his AoE lightning stun effect on buildings. He's only targeted or programmed to attack units, and then once he gets to the castle gate, he attacks the castle gate by default, but he does not use his AoE lightning on the castle gates. Again, for those that don't know, AoE means area of effect. He does a lightning shock down on the ground, and then that stuns. It's very similar to the stun spell, if you've ever used that spell before. So he stuns for around 2 to 3 seconds. We haven't exactly timed it, but it is a good duration, and it does affect buildings and units. So it's extremely helpful and can get you out of some sticky situations. It is random, so you cannot count on using it, whenever you want. But it does happen fairly frequently, especially if you have more than one mummy. So another perk of attacking the random opponent list is you get the medal bonuses if you are high in the leaderboards. Top 1,000 players actually gain extra medals from raiding now. If you are in the top 1,000, I believe you're getting a 5% boost. And then if you are in the top 500, you get a 10% boost. And I'm not sure exactly where the next cutoff is, but it does keep on getting higher and higher, all the way up to 50% boost for being in the top 10. So we're going up to the corner over here, and you can just see that lightning bolt out of the corner of your eye. And that shocked and stunned everything. That's the AoE lightning I talked about earlier. You do have to occasionally throw out some pyromancers, because as you are rushing forward with this type of strategy, some of these monsters are getting through, or some of the defensive wave troops like the archer or the pyromancer. So you do need to have a couple of pyromancers in the background there coming out of your tent, so your tent doesn't get destroyed. Because if the monsters destroy your tent, then you actually lose the battle. And that was a mistake right there. You do not want to pop out a mummy right when the gargoyle or the skull tower is shooting out bombs, because the bombs actually do a great amount of damage to the mummy. It appears that the bombs do more damage than the firebolt towers do to the mummy, even though the firebolt towers are supposedly their Achilles heel of the mummy. The mummy is supposed to be weak to fire, but it doesn't really appear that way. So now we're going to bring out a couple of more pyromancers. And you see we had a couple pyromancers coming through. So that means most, if not all, of the towers back behind us should be dead. We can bring out some cannons just to hopefully clean up that. Since we have 40 some odd seconds left, we can sit back here and kind of wait, look and see if all the towers are taken out. And it appears everything is taken out, so we can go back and finish off the job. You do get a lot more, well, not a lot more, but you do get more money and more medals for getting 100%. So it's always worthwhile to aim for that, especially if you have time to spare, like we did there. You'll notice this is how effective, and this is what I was trying to emphasize to you guys before, is that the mummy is extremely powerful. We are, blowing through these bases. These bases are 3,000 plus. This is what the random matchmaking is giving us. We're gaining, 20 trophies or so now for these 2 raids. A fair amount of medals, a fair amount of gold. So we're up to 3,500 now. Here's a tougher one. He has a lot of gargoyles, so this one we probably will die in. Typically, this is a base that you'd want to avoid. We'll go ahead and just give it a shot and see, what we can do against these guys. So here we're going to have to conversely save a lot of our spells, especially our Sonic Blast, for when we get bombarded by gargoyles. So right there, we took out all the gargoyles with the Sonic Blast. We didn't take hardly any damage whatsoever. We are going to spawn a couple of trash pyromancers in the background there. We're going to pop our Sonic Blast right there to help take care of those gargoyles, because they are spawning right at us. Popping out a mummy now. We're going to keep these guys away from the mummy. We don't have a Sonic Blast, but we want the mummy to be alive, because if the gargoyles come up and we have mummies alive, there's a chance the mummies can AoE stun them, and that'll give us enough time to kill the gargoyles before they explode. Pop the Sonic Blast there. Again, we are going to try and keep all our mummies alive. If we can do that, so you can see the mummy got bombarded there, but it took out the entire wave of his troops. So a fair trade-off, in my opinion. Again, we will be using the mummy as human shields. And we want to try and keep the mummies a little bit separated from each other. You can see the gargoyles took out 2 of our mummies right there with their AoE splash damage. We're going to bring out a couple of pyromancers. We're going to save our sonic blast for this wave right here of gargoyles, and we timed that perfectly, so the gargoyles all met their demise. So we're going to stay out of the range of those guys, let the mummy just die to him. So a very, very tough base here, but with the right tactics and planning, we're able to go through it here. And we haven't died yet. We have 40 seconds, so those gargoyles are all taking out that mummy. We're going to come over here to the corner. Sonic Blast there. We spawned another mummy, so now that mummy will be able to take out the next initial wave of gargoyles. We're not going to get 100%, I'd say, but that's fine. Just beating the base, even at like 90% or 95%, will generate us a lot of gold, a lot of metals, and it's way better to beat the base and kill the castle gate rather than, not destroy the gate. The gate is worth like 20 to 50%. So you can see we jumped up 24 trophies right there, and that was because we used the proper tactics. Most people don't know to save their sonic blasts and to use a diversion unit, to use like a mummy or something else in front of you to let the gargoyles just kamikaze and bomb them. There's a lot of advanced tactics that have to go into fighting a gargoyle base. You could use the sword rain, but me personally, I love the heal spell, and I've always been a fan of the heal spell, since pretty much, well, not since inception, but since learning about healing the hero several months back. Even after they nerfed the heal spell pretty significantly, it's still probably the best spell in the game. So here's another base, 20 medals, or 20 trophies, 235 medals. This one has no monsters in it whatsoever. At least it appears that way on the minimap. We'll go and do one more raid since our connection has been fairly stable. See, there is the lifesaver, the AoE lightning, saving us a ton of damage. You always want to make sure you can get double hits on and like the barricades there. So he had a barricade over, like here, he has the barricades adjoining, and you can actually Blade Storm and kill both of those barricades with one hit. I preferred there in that situation to use the Sonic Blast on the corner to take out the Firebolt Tower and also the Skull Tower, because the barricade dies really, really quick to the Blade Storm. Sonic Blast doesn't do that much damage to the barricade. I called back the mummy because I didn't want him to get too far away from me. I want to take out this Skull Tower because I have some reinforcement pyromancers coming up. And unfortunately, my Blade Storm ran out right there, so I'm going to head back here and save my mummy and my pyromancers that survived. Build up my army. Come up now with my Sonic Blast, or Blade Storm. And we'll go over here and Sonic Blast the Firebolt Tower. So this is looking to be a fairly simple raid here. We are going to gain 20 trophies out of it. We have plenty of time, so the only thing could stop us if we get really careless and die up here at the castle gates. So we summoned all the troops over here. We called them over. Hopefully the pyromancers can come in and blow up the firebolt tower. And they did. And we're able to take down the gate with around 18 seconds left. So a nice amount of medals, 259 with our bonus, 20 trophies. So that puts us at 3547. And we are in the top 250 right now. We're 246th place on the leaderboards. So all in all, a great, great conquest right there. And we will be back with some more. Thanks for watching.